Hello students, yesterday we have seen about the ionic compounds which contain positive and negative charge. In the previous class we have learned about cation and anionic charge. Yes or no? So now let us see about Poisson's rule. Today let us discuss about Poisson's rule. So according to Poisson's rule, there will be 4 points what happened. So generally here, according to Poisson's rule, what we can say means here, increase in cationic size. So when you increase plus charge, automatically the ionic nature of bond will also increase. So let us see here, group 1A elements, which will be, here we are going to discuss about Poisson's rule. So what I have told you here, increase. So means what here? Increase in cationic charge. So when you increase the cationic charge, cationic size is nothing but what here? Cationic size is nothing but positive charge. So when you are increasing the cationic size, automatically increases the nature of the bond. So means what here? What is the meaning of this? When positive charge is increasing, cation contains positive charge. So when the size is increasing, automatically the ionic bond will also increases. Nature of ionic bond will increases. So let us take 1A group elements. So 1A group elements is nothing but what? Alkali metals. Lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium. So coming to here, lithium will be having small size compared to sodium. Sodium will be having small size compared to potassium. Compared to rubidium, potassium is having small size compared to cesium. Rubidium is having small sum. So means what I have told you, increase in cationic sum. So when the positive charge is increasing, automatically the ionic character also increases. So means what here, the size is increasing from top to bottom, we can say. So this is the first point. So next one, coming to here, next one, small anionic size if you are taking, means which means negative charge. So if you are taking small anionic size increases, ionic nature of the bond also increases. So if suppose anionic size increases, ionic nature of the bond, so it increases the small anionic size increases the what? Ionic nature of the bond. So for example, if you are taking calcium fluoride, CaF2 is more ionic, whereas Ci2 is covalent. So means what here? Ionic means what? It is having positive charge, negative charge. Whereas Ci2 is also having positive and negative charge. So coming to here, it will be more ionic when you compare to Ci2. CF2 is more ionic. Why we are saying it is more ionic? Why? Because, so here coming to calcium and fluoride. Fluoride size is very small. F will form only negative charge in halogens family. F will form negative charge, that only -1 it can form. When you take calcium, bromine, iodine, these will form -1, +1 also they can form. Okay. So but compared to here, this will be having anionic size very small compared to iodine from top to bottom. So that's why we say that CaF2 is more ionic, whereas Ci2 is covalent. Covalent is nothing but what here? Shared pair of electrons it is going to have. Okay, coming to next one, what we can take? Small charge on both ions. Means if suppose if you are taking anion and cation, so both ions which is having very small charge, if it is having small positive and small negative, it will give what here? Ionic bond we can say. So means what here? What we can say? NaCl is ionic. Na can form Na plus Cl minus. So that's why we are saying this is an ionic. So whereas AlCl3. So AlCl3 is more covalent. Means what here? What I have to do, small charge on both ions give ionic bond. So it can give charge Na plus Cl. But coming to here, it will give Al plus 3 Cl3 minus. So means what here? This is giving plus 3 charge. This is minus 1 we are getting. So what happens here? There is more charge it is having. So it can share the electrons to chlorine atom, or chlorine can share the electrons to aluminum atom. So that's why we say it as AlCl3 is more covalent when compared to NaCl. Coming to NaCl, it gives positive charge and negative charge. So small charge on both ions. It will give what here? Ionic compound, whereas compared to AlCl3, which is a covalent compound. So next one we can say here cations. Cations with inert gas configuration forms ionic compounds than with pseudo inert gas configuration. So means what we have said, what is inert gas configuration? In the previous class we have discussed inert gas configuration which will give 8 electrons in the outermost shell. Coming to pseudo inert gas configuration, it will give 18 electrons. So means what here? Cations which is having inert gas configuration, it will form ionic compounds compared to the pseudo inert gas configuration. So by this what we can say here, example NaCl is ionic, whereas CuCl is more covalent. So this is nothing but Fossen's rule. So what Fossen's rules describe? These are the 4 points he has described. So what first is the first point what he has described? Increase in cationic sum. When the cationic size increases, automatically the nature of ionic bond increases. And what is the next point? The small anionic size increases the nature of the bond. And coming to here, small charge on both ions will give ionic bond, and cations with inert gas configuration forms ionic compound than with the pseudo inert gas configuration. So here NaCl is ionic, which means it is a inert gas configuration compared to CuCl. So CuCl will give what here? CuCl will give 18 electronic configuration. Why? Because it is more covalent and it is also a pseudo inert gas configuration. So this is about Fossen's rule. So if suppose if the compound we are taking, if any compound if you have been taken, it is less ionic or more covalent. So what it should contain? So for example, a compound is less ionic or more covalent if it contains, so if suppose it is having less nature of the ionic bond, means very small amount of positive and negative charge is forming, or more electrons if it is sharing, then what are the things it has to be contained? Means first point, it should have small cation and large anion. This is the first point it should have. It should have to contain ionic bond, it should be the cation, the positive charge should be small and anion should be large, or else we can say cation carrying high positive charge and anion carrying high negative charge, we can say. So whether the cation should have more positive charge, or we can say anion should have more negative charge. So this is one of the point. And also here cation having pseudo inert gas configuration, we can say here. Cation should have pseudo inert gas configuration, and also it should have, we can say, in a binary compound. Binary compound is nothing but what here? In a binary compound means two compounds if you are taking A, B. So here the electronegativity difference between element and A and B should be equal to 1.9, or the compound AB is 50% ionic, we can say. Okay, so what we can say, in a binary compound AB, if the electronegativity difference between the elements A and B is 1.9, we can say. So if it is equal to 1.9, the difference between, we are taking a binary compound AB. So here AB you are taking. So the difference between A and B should be electronegativity difference 1.9. So then we say it is 50% of the compound AB is ionic, we can say. And also if you have been taken, if suppose greater than 1.9, the compound AB is an ionic compound, we can say. So what we can say, if suppose electronegativity value is, for example, if you are having 2.4, 2.5, 2.6 like them, so then without confusion we can say it as the compound is a ionic compound. Suppose it is less than 1.9, the compound AB is covalent compound. If it is less than 1.9, then we can say what here? Covalent compound. If it is greater than, then we call it as a ionic compound. So next one we can discuss about, so this is about Poisson's rule and ionic compound we have discussed up to now. So now let us discuss about here octet rule. So what is octet configuration? It should obey 8 electrons in the outermost electron. So now we are going to discuss about octet rule. So what is octet rule? According to this, atoms should have 8 electrons in their outermost orbits by losing, gaining or sharing electron to have an 8 electrons in the valence shell. So this is known as octet rule. So what is octet rule we are saying? According to this, atoms prefer to have 8 electrons in their outermost orbit by losing, gaining or sharing electrons to have an octet in their valence shell is known as what here? Is known as octet rule. So what is octet rule? We can say atoms which is having 8 electrons in the outermost orbits. Outermost orbit is nothing but valence electrons. So which is having outermost orbit. So this one we call it as octet rule. So Means, for example, if you have been taken noble gas elements, so all noble except noble gas elements except helium. So except helium, remaining all should have the octet configuration. For example, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon. So when you write the configuration and electronic configuration and the splitting of orbitals, you will be getting 8 electrons, which is completely filled. So those type of things we call it as octet rule. And next one we are going to discuss is covalent bond or electron pair bond, we can say. So what we are next going to discuss? Next one we are going to discuss is covalent bond or electron pair bond we are going to discuss. Okay, so here generally covalent bond was proposed by Lewis, we can say. Okay, so what he has, who was proposed? The covalent bond was proposed by Lewis, we can say. So the bond formed between two atoms by the mutual sharing of their valency electron, we call it as covalent bond. So what is covalent bond? What is covalent bond? The shared pair of electron between two atoms, we call it as what? Covalent bond. So here the bond formed between two atoms by the mutual sharing of their valence electrons is known as what? Covalent bond. For example, I am taking A and B, or we can write like this also. A, B, two atoms I am taking. So here the bond is formed between two atoms by the mutual sharing of their valence electron. So here one electron is shared, here one electron is shared. So automatically what we is forming? A bond is formed. Means here one electron it is going to get, here one electron. So this is the equal sharing of electron is taking place. That one we call it as what? Covalent bond. So here only unpaired electrons present in the atom involving covalent bonds. Unpaired electrons is nothing but what here? Which is not having completely paired. So for example, if you are taking this one, so only one electron. If suppose like this two electrons, it is the pair of electrons we say. If two, we call it as pair of electrons, one is their unpaired electron. Okay, so here what we can say here? Only unpaired electrons present in the atom involved in covalent bonds. Okay, so only unpaired electrons present in the atom involved in covalent bond we can say. And coming to next one here, one unpaired electron involves one covalent bond only. If you take two unpaired electrons, it will involve two covalent bonds. Okay, so in the same way, if you have been taken the number of atoms, the number of electrons of an atom of the element form covalent compound is known as what? covalency. See here the number of electrons of an atom. See, clearly observe number of electrons of an atom. So if you taking one atom, how many electrons it is there? For example, I am taking chlorine. So total how many electrons? Chlorine is having total 7 electrons. So to form covalent compound, for example, I am taking here Cl. Cl, how many electrons? 7 electrons. So like this, how many electrons I am taking? 2 electrons. Okay, total 7 electrons I am taking. So automatically what happens here? 2, 2, 2. So these 2 electrons will form what here? Bond it is forming like this, Cl2. So now total how many electrons we are having? 8 electrons. So means what here? 2 in the middle, if you write like this, this is having 8 electrons, this is having 8 electrons. So means what here? It is forming covalence. So here what I have told in the previous section, if you have been observed here, only unpaired electrons present in the atom. So or mutual sharing of electrons. So means what here? The sharing of electrons is going to takes place here. One electron come here, one electron go here. So means what? Total 7, 7. So when you combine these two, 8 electrons or 8 electrons it is going to have. So what I have told you, the number of electrons of an atom of the element, it will form covalent compound. We call it as covalency. So here the number of covalent bonds including dative bonds. The covalent bonds is also known as dative bonds. Means what here? That an atom can form maximum covalency. For example, if you have been taking nitrogen, covalency of nitrogen in NH3 is equals to 3 here, and in the, if you have been taking covalency of nitrogen in NH4 plus is equals to 4. If you are taking covalency of carbon in CH4 is equals to 4. So means what here? The covalency. Here the 3 electrons is shared in nitrogen. Here 4 electrons is shared in nitrogen. And here coming to here 4 electrons shared in carbon. So means what here? The number of covalent bonds. So it is including dative bond, which is also known as coordinate covalent bond. Dative bond is also known as what? Coordinate covalent bond, we can say. Okay, so the dative bonds will have maximum number of covalency. For example, I am taking NH3 plus H, which is an empty electron. This lone pair of electrons will occupy this one and it will form NH4 plus. So this one we call it as dative bond or coordinate covalent bond we are going to say. So the empty electron which is present over here, this will be occupied by filled electrons. That one we call it as coordinate covalent bond or dative bond. So what I am saying here, listen carefully, the number of covalent bonds including dative bond. So this is a dative bond and also covalent bonds will form what? Here it will form maximum covalency. So maximum number of covalency it is forming. So this is nothing but covalency of nitrogen and carbon. Okay. So in the next step what we can see means here pure covalent bond is formed by the sharing of electron pair between two like atoms, we can say. So if you have been taking two atoms, Cl is a two atoms, so it can form what? Pure covalent bond. So that is the meaning of this one. So by sharing electrons 1 so automatically what it is forming? Covalent bond between the two atoms it is forming. So atoms, the word like atom stand for atoms of same element or atoms having same electronegative atoms. So I am saying two like atoms. So means atoms means what here? The atoms means if we are taking two same atoms, yes or no? Two same elements we are taking, or these will be having same electronegativity value also. Those type of atoms only it is present. So mainly the pure covalent bond is present where? Pure covalent bond is present in H2, Cl2, O2, N2, P4, S8, etc. So to these elements only it is going to present. Okay. So we are having polar covalent bond. So polar covalent bond is nothing but what? Which will be different atoms. So these atoms we call it as non-polar covalent bond. Non-polar covalent bond means these all are same atoms. So this one we non-polar we call it as same atoms. Polar covalent bond means what here? Different atoms. Okay. So here polar covalent bond is formed by sharing of electron pairs between two dissimilar atoms. Okay. So what is polar covalent bond? Sharing of electron pair between two distant. So means different atoms we are taking here. So the atoms what we are taking, that should be different, or it should have different electronegative values. So what are the things? It is, for example, HF you are taking HCl, H2O, ICL, CO2, SO2, BeCl2, SO3, BCl3. So these all will come under the CH4, SF6, PCl5. These all will come under the different. H is one atom, F is one atom. So two different atoms. This each atom is having electronegativity value different. So means what here? The polar covalent is bond. The covalent bond is formed between non-polar atoms and also polar atoms. Non-polar is nothing but same atoms it can form, and also different atoms which is having same electronegativity, which is having different electronegativity also it can form. Okay. And coming to here, the percentage of ionic character. So when you take percentage of ionic character is calculated by, so percentage of ionic character is equals to 16 into XA minus XB plus 3.5 into XA minus XB whole square. Okay. So here XA is nothing but electronegativity of atom A, XB is nothing but electronegativity of B. So this is the way to calculate the percentage of ionic character. So what is this one? XA is nothing but electronegativity of the atom A, XB is nothing but electronegativity of the atom B. Okay, so this is general introduction of covalent bond. So in the next class we can see how it is going to form by Lewis dot structure. Okay, thank you.